We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some news regarding Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, and the Raw Women's Championship coming out of last night's edition of Monday Night Raw. As most of you are probably aware, it has been officially announced that Liv Morgan will be getting her rematch against Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship at the upcoming Day 1 pay-per-view event. And by all means, many fans feel as though this is a well-deserved rematch for Liv Morgan, who previously had her opportunity against Becky Lynch taken away with cheap tactics from the champion. This feud between Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan has definitely been quite solid, and the anticipation is building with each passing week. And on last night's Raw, Becky Lynch added a bit of fuel to the rivalry, with Becky Lynch injuring Liv Morgan, although that is just storyline, with Becky Lynch really proving that she can be a great heel, and Liv Morgan is being portrayed as a beloved underdog in this storyline, which is always something that fans can get behind. Now the direction of the Raw Women's Championship going into WrestleMania 38 season is still a bit unclear, although there is likely to be a few twists or unexpected moments involved in this championship scene leading up to the showcase of the Immortals, and one of those shocking moments is reportedly likely to occur at Day 1. Now, while it had previously been reported that Vince McMahon was not actually planning for Liv Morgan to win the Raw Women's title and was instead planning for Becky Lynch to walk out of this feud victorious and retaining her championship so that Becky Lynch could move on to a bigger storyline for WrestleMania season, apparently with the great crowd reception that Liv Morgan has been receiving lately, on top of Liv Morgan reportedly impressing Vince not only with her in-ring ability but her promo work as well, a new backstage rumor has revealed that it's shockingly very possible that WWE decide to pull off the ultimate underdog win at the Day 1 pay-per-view, with Liv Morgan shocking the wrestling world by winning the Raw Women's Championship from Becky Lynch, likely with a tactic that Becky Lynch used in their first match, with Liv Morgan then being the one to use the rope to get the upper hand and win against Becky Lynch, with Vince feeling like this is too good of a moment to pass up and that Liv Morgan does deserve a short Raw Women's title reign. And we should highlight the word short when it comes to Liv Morgan possibly winning the Raw Women's title at Day 1 from Becky Lynch, because apparently if Liv Morgan did win the championship from Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan would only be holding onto the title for a very short amount of time, at the very most a couple of short weeks, before losing the Raw Women's title back to Becky Lynch, with Vince feeling like a title reign similar to Nikki ASH would be suitable and fitting for where Liv Morgan is at in her career right now, because while Vince McMahon does think that Liv Morgan deserves a push and some spotlight, Vince doesn't really feel like Liv Morgan is quite ready for a long title reign, and that just having Liv Morgan win the Raw Women's Championship and hold onto the title for a short period of time will be more than enough to build up Liv Morgan's credibility and really begin Liv's push in the women's division, with it likely that Liv Morgan would get a better title reign later on in the year. Now, as far as WrestleMania 38 and the Raw Women's Championship is concerned, one of our sources has mentioned that it is likely a returning Asuka will be the legitimate challenger for Becky Lynch's title for WrestleMania next year. So once Becky Lynch wins back the championship from Liv Morgan, the focus would then shift to Asuka setting her sights on Becky Lynch and the Raw Women's title. And Asuka would likely be defeating the former champion Liv Morgan in a number 1 contenders match to determine Becky Lynch's WrestleMania 38 opponent at a later pay-per-view, which would keep Liv Morgan in the spotlight, and following WrestleMania, Liv Morgan would slowly work herself back into title contention on the Raw brand. Now, of course, the plans could always change, but as of right now, a returning Asuka is being planned to be Becky Lynch's WrestleMania feud or rivalry, although Liv Morgan could very well have a short-term Raw Women's title reign before we get into WrestleMania season, which is truly great news for Liv Morgan and her fans. Now we have some huge news and rumors to share regarding Brock Lesnar heading into the Day 1 pay-per-view event, and it seems as though the plans have drastically changed behind the scenes in WWE regarding Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and the Universal title going into the pay-per-view, and Vince McMahon is reportedly planning to shock wrestling fans in a massive way at the Day 1 event. While Vince McMahon was at first not planning for Roman Reigns to lose the Universal title anytime soon, a breaking new backstage rumor has revealed that as of right now, WWE are strongly favoring for Brock Lesnar to win the Universal Championship from Roman Reigns at Day 1, and we have the reasons as to why that is the case. Now firstly, Vince McMahon has apparently came to the realization that because the plan as of right now is for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar to headline WrestleMania 38 next year, Vince feels like Brock Lesnar cannot afford to lose another match against Roman, whether cleanly or not, if their future WrestleMania match is still going to be intriguing for fans. And as a result, WWE feel like Brock Lesnar winning their second match and the Universal Championship will make the WrestleMania 38 match way more exciting, seeing Brock will be going into the showcase of the Immortals the champion, and Roman Reigns will be the challenger, and this better fits into the WWE's long-term plans, seeing as though Brock Lesnar will be leaving WWE shortly following WrestleMania 38, and Roman Reigns would most likely win the title back from Brock at WrestleMania next year. As well, Roman Reigns is reportedly going to be taking some time off from WWE soon after the Day 1 pay-per-view event, which we will discuss in more detail next, and this has further convinced McMahon to get that title on Brock Lesnar. So as of right now, there is reportedly a strong chance that Brock walks out of Day 1 the Universal Champion, with or without Paul Heyman's help. Now, the tragic news regarding Roman Reigns is a few different unfortunate news about the Tribal Chief combined in one, and clearly things are not going to be going in Roman Reigns' favor over the next few months in WWE, unfortunately. Now firstly, like we had mentioned, Vince McMahon is strongly considering for Brock Lesnar to win the Universal Championship from Roman Reigns at the Day 1 event, thus halting Roman's incredible title reign, and that is something that many of Roman's fans will likely be very upset at, because it basically means that Roman Reigns will not be breaking Brock Lesnar's record for the longest Universal title reign of all time, despite being so close to reaching that milestone if he were to win at Day 1. And the second bit of unfortunate news regarding Roman Reigns is that his special counsel Paul Heyman is reportedly soon going to be leaving Roman Reigns for Brock Lesnar, thus putting an end to the highly acclaimed alliance between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, which was partly the reason why Roman Reigns has done such fantastic work in WWE following his return at SummerSlam 2020. The last bit of tragic or sad news when it comes to Roman Reigns is that following the Day 1 pay-per-view event on January 1st, 2022, Roman Reigns is reportedly going to be leaving WWE for the immediate future to take a break from the busy WWE schedule, and Roman could very well be gone from television for a couple of months, unfortunately, before eventually returning in time for WrestleMania 38. So all around, not the best of news for Roman Reigns and his fans right now. Following last week's Raw episode, there was a lot of speculation that Bobby Lashley would be added to the WWE Championship match at Day 1, and the speculation was officially confirmed last night on Monday Night Raw, after Bobby Lashley earned the right to be included in the WWE Championship match at Day 1, now making it a fatal 4-way match instead of a triple threat. And not surprisingly, Bobby Lashley is now reportedly a strong favorite to win the match and reclaim the WWE Championship.